Earnestly podcast. Big Jim is here with us. What up, buddy?
Yo.
Worst t-shirt ever, worst hat ever.
Oh, shut up.
It's football time, buddy.
Get the fuck out of here. I like your shirt, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's my wife's shirt. Well, she gave it to me, actually. She got the shirt in a was it a
No, you were right the first time. It's your wife's shirt. You wear your wife's clothes. It's okay.
Shut up.
It's 2023, man. I'm not here to judge.
Oh, did you see the preseason polls?
Yeah, I don't care.
Forrest and we're 8.
Doesn't matter.
Shocking. A little shocking. I'll say my buddy in my mind, like, look, we'll know off the gate how good they are because the 2 of the first 4 games, they play number 6 LSU, number 5 Clemson. So if they win those games,
they'll lose both of those.
Oh, wow.
I said it.
Wow, what a dick.
I said it.
How's your Wednesday going, buddy?
Great.
Did you get WrestleMania tickets today?
We got Saturday tickets. Sunday, no dice so far. We're hoping for the general on sale. But honestly, man, I'm not sweating it. Like the pre-sales have just been a fucking train wreck. Like Ticketmaster is the fucking worst. It really is. But yeah, we were able to get 5 for Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if I don't even get them on Friday, like, I mean, we're 240 days away. Like, we're going to be able to get them. I've seen a lot of people that have been to WrestleManias and some of these big stadium shows in the past, and they're like, don't sweat it. They're a lot of these are getting scooped up by resellers, and you just kind of got to keep your eyes out, and it'll happen.
That is exactly why I didn't get involved in the freeze. I didn't want to bother. I'm gonna wait. Let all things sift out. Number one, because I got to figure out what I'm doing because it's me, my wife, and my 2 kids,
right?
Times 2 nights. So
yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, man, you know, I definitely wanted to get there one night. I'm not as concerned if I don't make the second night, to be honest with you. It's sad. Like I went to concerts recently, and like it's the large crowds and shit are kind of sensory overload for me. So there was a part of me that was debating not even like going to WrestleMania at all, but I'm
really
like, I can't not go. I can't not go at all. This is literally the closest WrestleMania will ever be to where I live. So I'm definitely, you know, that I got a ticket at least for one night. I'm gonna try to get there for both, but you know, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
I know you mentioned in the past, with me about, like, anxiety, dealing with anxiety and whatnot, but I didn't think it was that bad, actually.
Dude, it's weird. It hits in really, really strange ways. And I don't know if it's just because, like, you know, I'll go to a hockey game with 11,000 people and be fine, but I go to a concert with 30 and it hits me weird in different ways, and I don't know, it hits different ways at different times. So it's kind of an unpredictable sort of a thing. So but yeah, I was like, there's definitely part of me that was like, man, do I even want to like spend the money to risk this? And
yeah, I got that vibe in the text, like yesterday we were in that group text. I got that vibe with me also.
I gotta go to at least one of the 2 nights for sure. Because like I said, it will never be closer to where I live.
No, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I mean, this is obviously a bucket list for you. WrestleMania, first time, it would be first time going.
Yeah, I've never been to one. This could be my only one, which was why, like, I wanted to make sure we got decent seats. Like, look, some of the the prices for this thing, I don't understand how people can afford some of these seats. I mean, there's floor seats with like the platinum package that are literally 10 grand plus per night. And I'm like, what the fuck are people? I mean, these only, you know, people selling only feet and fucking goddamn
Lacey Evans is probably
or whatever, man. Like, I don't know what people are doing. Good on them, man. Good on them for being able to afford it. But like, I wasn't about to sit in the highest top row of the football stadium to watch a wrestling show. Like, I didn't want to do that. So we got decent seats. We got decent seats. We we spent actually less than I was anticipating for the one night. So that's I can't be that upset about it either.
I saw the price structure you sent me in text, and I'm like, oh geez. So if I want to really be cheap about this, I'm not gonna really enjoy this experience. I'll be on top of the damn thing. But I gotta tell you, like, because part of me is like you, like I'm like, should I bother with this shit, dude? Honestly, because honestly, the only reason I really want to even go on the strip is to meet you guys. That's it.
Yeah.
Like I if I can go and just meet you guys and not go to WrestleMania, I'll be okay. I'm happy with that. Honestly, but the wife is driving this shit now. She's like, we gotta go. I want to go. I want to go.
For what it's worth, WrestleMania 35, Mark and Ryan were there. They sat literally in like the highest upper deck seat, like top row at MetLife, and Ryan said they had a blast. So that's more of a me thing. Me being like, look, this may be the only time I ever go to WrestleMania. I don't know. But so I wanted to be at least on a, decent level. I didn't want to be super way high up and just, be staring at, little, but that's a me thing. I think
tribal chief.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's screens and everything, and that you'll be able to see the action. But yeah, I mean, with kids and families, like, I have a couple other people I know that, they have to take 3, 4, or 5 people, and they're like, yeah. And then like, again, those upper levels are, I think $20-$30 a ticket. So those are economical, but yeah, for me, I didn't want to get ones that high up.
No, I don't blame you. Like you say, that could be the only one you go to, because I think obviously you said on the podcast many times over in the past that, fear of flying and all that, and obviously this is the first one in Philadelphia since 1999.
Yeah,
so yeah,
5 years. Yeah.
Yes, I don't blame you. The reason we're doing this podcast, though, well, not just WrestleMania, is we had a discussion on Twitter a couple days ago, and I put a post. It was talking about Taylor Swift, and I'm going to reiterate what I said on the tweet. What do you call it now? X now. What do you call it? A Z?
It's Twitter. It's Twitter.
You still on that vibe?
I mean, here's the deal, man. I think if you go on like the App Store, as I open up my phone, I think on the App Store it's still listed as Twitter. Just the logo is the X now, right? Like, isn't that the thing?
I don't know. I have X on mine now, and I have. I'll check in a second. But anyway, and I was trying to explain to folks on there. I like Taylor Swift, for the record. I think she's very, very nice. I think she's very authentic. I'm just not getting the whole like explosion icon Taylor. Oh my God, she's the greatest of all time.
Well, no, I guess it is actually officially.
Yeah, it's official. Elon's doing his damn thing. Look at that.
Dude, it's still Twitter. I can kiss my ass.
It's still Twitter to me, damn it.
I can kiss my ass. It's still Twitter. It'll always be Twitter. I'm never gonna call it fucking X. What a fucking listener. I swear to God.
Was he fucking Des Bryant now? What the fuck?
Don't disrespect Des like that.
I love Des. You kidding me?
You don't disrespect Des like that.
Hey,
I got my fast X cup right here.
Oh, dude, nice. Speaking of X,
well, the funny thing is, I've never even watched. I don't think I've watched any of the Fast and Furious movies.
First two, that's it.
We went. What movie did we see? Oh, when we saw the Burt Kreischer movie back in
month ago.
That was actually
a month and a half ago.
That was in June, I think.
That you ditched my fucking show for. What the fuck?
Yeah, good. Eat shit. But I ordered like a large. I ordered like the big soda, and they're like, "Do you want the souvenir Fast X cup?" And I was like, "Sure."
Speaking of Cubs, Jim, student game. Hey, birthday, buddy.
There you go. Nice. That's right. Yeah. Happy birthday,
44 years old. You fucking 7'5" asshole jabroni. No, I'm joking. I love you,
I love him. I love him. What a good guy.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my really, really true friends here on this medium. So back to Taylor Swift. So I'm trying to understand the phenomena of it all. As someone who, you know this, I've told you, like, much as I love sports, music is my thing. Music is my thing, and I listen to music from all different genres. And I'm not again. This is not a knock on Taylor Swift, but the way she's being treated now, the way she's looked at by the media, and rightfully so, because for the record, the sales of her records constitutes that, is that she is now on another level
Mm-hmm.
of when we talk about Taylor Swift, talking about her like she's Elvis or Michael Jackson or Madonna, icons. We're talking about guys, the stars, icons.
I
You
mean, look
know,
at what she's doing right now
hmm
with her tours.
and I think what it is too also is like what is she like when I look at Elvis, like Elvis was a phenomenal, iconic performer. MJ, obviously, you already know how I feel. MJ, you know what the things he's done through his career. Madonna was changed the game in terms of female empowerment in music. She was the first one that
Mhm.
really was. I look at Taylor Swift, and I'm not saying she's not great what she does. I think she's a very good songwriter. She writes good music, but I feel like I'm missing something with her in terms of like what is she doing that's hooking that wide audience that's different from the rest of the pack.
Well, I think she started as this little simple, um, happy go lucky. Because I think when she started, she was what 14 or something like that.
About
When her
mid
first album
teens,
came
yeah.
out or her first song came out, she was 14 or 15. So it's like, little happy, girl in love type songs and this and that. And she's obviously grown as a person, as a songwriter, as an artist, as a performer. She really in the last, I don't know, decade-ish, has become crossed over from country to pop and is a huge and has brought her entire country fan base just about. I mean, there's probably some that didn't like the change, but she's come over from the country world into the pop world, and because she is now performing, um, a you put her up with pop artists across the
Mhm.
board, and she is a tremendous performer. I haven't seen her live, but you see the clips. I mean, if you log on TikTok or Instagram, you can't avoid Taylor Swift clips right now, and just huge audiences. And like I said, it's that crossover thing. And I think one of the big things, and I know for a buddy of mine that didn't like her, not that he didn't like her before, but what really made him change his opinion on her was when her old record label kind of held her music hostage, and instead of trying to go into some legal fight, she was basically like, okay, you say I can't have the rights to my old songs. I'm just going to take the songs that I wrote, rewrite them, re-record them, and now I own them. So I think that is what
Which
changed
I
the
love
game
for the
for
record. Yep.
a lot of people. Is she basically gave a middle finger to the record industry and said, "You're not going to hold me hostage. You're not going to hold me victim. You're not going to hold my music hostage. I'm just going to rewrite and record it." Everybody and more, everybody that owned the original stuff bought the new stuff and then some. So she has made probably more money on the re-records of her music than the originals, and now she's out there doing her thing and she controls everything. And I really think that's what the big thing is with a lot of people is she kind of challenged the record industry. And we were just talking about Ticketmaster, and friends of mine and I have talked about that. And I know the Preston and Steve show, the morning radio show out of Philly that I listen to every day, they've talked about her, and that, like, if there's an artist that could truly change the ticketing system in entertainment, it's somebody like Taylor Swift.
I agree. I agree.
If Taylor Swift, like, said, F you, Ticketmaster, my tickets are only sold through TaylorSwift.com or whatever. Because here's the deal. Like, even the Giant Center where the Hershey Bears play,
hmm
if you buy a ticket at the Giant Center box office, it is a Ticketmaster ticket. Pretty much every venue across the board is a Ticketmaster affiliate, right? So, like, if I don't know, Volbeat says I don't want my tickets sold through Ticketmaster. These venues are going to be like, fine, you can't play here. Volbeat doesn't have the sway to make a venue go, okay, yeah, sure. If look at, I mean, Taylor Swift, right? Toronto, right? Last week, I think I saw 31 million ticket requests were submitted for her, 6 shows in Toronto that are
That's
coming
sick.
up.
That's amazing.
The population of Canada is 38 million. Okay. If stadiums are not going to turn down free money like that, if Taylor Swift said no, like I'm gonna host my own ticketing service and we're gonna sell it, but I want to do my shows at your venue. Nobody's gonna turn that away. Like, and so that's what I think. I think she has her fan base is so large that it's she could impact the business, the music industry, like those icons in the past, Madonna, Michael, Elvis, so on. Like, and here's the thing, like, and I know I replied to your tweet, like, not everybody gets every artist. Like, for as genius as Prince was, for as great as Michael Jackson was, for the innovator that Elvis was, for the pop icon that Madonna is and was, not everybody's going to get it. So, like, even though it's not coming from a place of dislike with Taylor Swift, but maybe there's just some level of disconnect. I mean, I know I joke with you about your age, but like, you're a 40-something-year-old dude, man. Like, right, you're an old dude, right? So, like, Taylor, like, and I don't,
you're like I'm 20 years older than you. You're only 5 years.
They don't speak to us, EJ. She don't speak to us, man.
It's true. It's the audience, I guess. And it's the medium too. It's pop music, number one. I'm just saying, like, what there isn't anything about her aura that stands out that's like, oh my god, like, I have to get tickets for a concert. Like, again, she makes good music. I like her music. I like her songs. I'm just saying there's nothing that stands out. Like, okay, well, so what's the extra layer? Like, what am I not getting? I guess to a point you made about the the label and whatnot. I guess it probably made him more sympathetic. I guess maybe that's what got people into.
Man, like, so Metallica. I know, like, you're obviously a huge Metallica guy. You've seen him a bunch of times.
Somewhat.
You're I know you sent me some text over the weekend. Your one buddy that was like front row at the
in the pit.
Was it the Montreal shows, right?
Yep, both of them. Yep.
So, like, you get when people are traveling with Metallica and seeing them in every city and front row and this and that and the other. Swifties probably don't understand that, right? They go, what's the
I guess they can relate to now, because if they're doing the same thing with her, I guess they can relate to the connection in music of, okay, may not be the same artist, but I get it.
Yeah. It's, they're for people that are Swifties, her music speaks to them and touches them on a different level.
Right.
It's not gonna, like, again, I appreciate her music. I think she's incredibly talented. When I've seen the clips, I'm like, that's a show that I think would be really cool to see. But, like, I'm not spending the money to see that. Some of those resale ticket prices.
You're not a Swiftie, then. I'm confessing you're not a Swiftie, are you?
No, I am. I would not classify myself as such.
This is Irish.
Yeah.
Old Cowboy fan.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, so yeah, I think that's what it is, man. I think it just connects with different people, and you're not a Swiftie. It's okay, EJ.
No. Again, it's not even about that. Cause I can understand the connection from artist to fan. That part I can get, whether or not you like the artist or not. I understand that. I have that. Hell, I flew to New York to see Michael Jackson's last concert. I flew to New York, and I was going to see. I was going to find London to see him concert. He died,
man.
Exactly. So I understand that connection, but Michael had an aura about him that connected him. Well, a lot of people, though. To be honest with you, even people that hate him.
Right, but not to everybody, right? And that's my point. For those Swifties, their connection to her is your connection to Michael Jackson.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like, So
Right.
like they don't you know they mean I mean that's a hard comparison now because it's been so long since he passed, but like
14 years. Yeah.
they don't have that connection to Michael Jackson, or like for for me now granted I've never traveled a long distance or spent a ton of money to
You
see
won't
Kiss, but I've
fly.
seen Kiss 10 times.
You won't fly, buddy.
Yeah, but I mean,
I get it. You
but
enjoy
like
listening
I mean
fly.
I
Yeah.
could travel to their last two shows that are going to be in December at Madison Square Garden, but I'm not going to spend the money to go.
Oh, you're not gonna go?
No.
What kind of fan are you, man?
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money. I'm going to Wrestlemania and Disney next year, man. I'm
Use
not
it
made
out
of
of the
money.
Hall of Incorporated fucking slush fund. What the hell's your problem, dude?
People gotta buy freaking t-shirts, man.
I gotta buy t-shirts for you to go to see fucking
Yeah,
Kiss and Gene
that's
Simmons.
yeah. People gotta give us money.
No, but I'm amazed because, like, you know, the only artist I think I've seen to that level that has that kind of following now is, and to be honest, I think it's not even close in terms of widespread is Beyonce. It's the artist I've seen concerts
Yeah,
have
that would be.
recently.
I think that would be the most
But
accurate comparison.
but to that point though, Taylor Swift dominates her in record sales.
Yeah.
Dominates her, not even close. So
country and pop, man. Beyonce is only grabbing people on the pop side, really.
Pop, well, not even pop anymore. To be honest, it's mostly R&B now because she's. I've been saying for years that one of the things Beyonce did in the last 15 years, and it was a conscious effort, but it also limited her audience, was that she made a conscious decision to go more urban. Because when she first came out, when she came in solo in 03, her first couple records were very pop records, and it sold like hotcakes. I'm not saying she's not selling hotcakes today, but there's a massive difference now where she
has a targeted audience.
Right now, target audience.
I don't think Taylor Swift. I mean, yeah, it's country. You know, I mean, she still has her country fans, but it's more of just a general feel good pop music. So it you know, I think it just they're catchy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just she can attract such a wide audience that everybody, you know, male, female, you know, all of the above. It doesn't matter. She can grab, and even if it's like one or two songs, you know, that you get people in the door, and I think that's what it is. Like you get people in the door, and then they start to dig into the catalog, and they dig into the catalog, and it's like, well, this is really good stuff. I think that's what it is, man. I think it's just
to your point though. My wife, we went to my nephew's baptism last week, and we're driving down, and we were playing, and I asked the same question to her, and on the way down, we were playing some of the music, and she explained everything you're saying here. She actually said some of the same points you made here, you know, and I guess I get it now. Because what?
Because your wife's smart.
That's very true. She married me. Of course she's smart. Oh, that's it.
Wow.
Her.
Everybody, even the smart people.
I get it, Jim. I get it.
Well, you walked into that one.
Yeah, I really did. No, but yeah, I guess I get it now. She doesn't. I guess the larger point. I don't want to say this as an insult because I know if I say this, it'll come up an insult. She doesn't feel special to me in the same way that certain other artists are. Even if the artists I don't like Beyonce, I'm not really a big fan of Beyonce, to be honest with you, but she's special to me. Like she's a certain kind of performer. I think she's the best. To be honest with you, I think Beyonce is the best living performer today, honestly. And I don't even like her music that much.
Yeah, I mean, but again, now, you know, what was it, 25 years ago or whatever? Did Destiny's Child get you first, and then?
Yeah, actually, they did.
So that's what it is. There's an earlier connection. You know what I mean? So like,
actually, I'm proud of you. You knew who they were. I'm proud of you.
I'm good at this. I know I'm white. I know I'm white, but you know, I surprise people every now and again.
Was it go ahead. Go ahead to your point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Here's the thing. Like, do I totally like get the, you know, the craze with her? I don't know if I totally do, but man, it's catchy. It's I can see why so many people love her and want to go see her, and what the appeal is. Like I mean, it's not my style of music for sure, but yeah, I mean, I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Yeah, yeah. So why do people? Because this came up in the same conversation on the thread, and I guess I get it to some degree too, because being someone who was in a metal band for many years, and you could target certain bands, and you can say, "Oh, that band sucks," or "they're annoying," and the radio and all that stuff. Um, the Nickelback hate is weird because I get why people hate them, yet they sell to this day. They still sell very well. So if they're hated, clearly that's not translating anywhere else because it's still a lot of fucking records.
Um, yeah, it is kind of a strange thing, and I think what it is because I mean they are very simple poppy rock music. It's like rock in a can, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like it's very simple, but like I think even people that claim to hate Nickelback can probably find at least one or two Nickelback songs that
Oh,
they
for
really
real.
enjoy.
Absolutely.
You know, um, and I think I think over the years because like they're not as mainstream popular as they used to be. So I think like some of that hate has like dissipated maybe a little bit.
Mhm.
I think similar to like a band like Creed. Like I think back in the day Creed had like a huge level of hate, and now I think people like are more nostalgic with a band like that.
I think Creed though is because Scott Stapp was such a kind of annoying
Polarizing
character.
figure.
Chad Kirk was not polarizing. None of these guys are polarizing. They just come.
No.
That's the
Well,
thing.
I
That
feel
I don't
there's
understand.
been a few things that Chad has done in like live performances that have made them like less than desirable. Like he'll hear like a fan like scream something at him, and like this is more back in the day. I don't think this is happening now, but like he'll hear like a fan yell something that like he doesn't like, and he'll just it's almost like the Axl Rose deal where like he'll just throw a tantrum and leave the stage and
Really?
uh call it a night. Yeah, like I
Oh,
think
I didn't
there
know
was
that.
one
No.
time like there was and I don't think it hit anybody, but like a water bottle like got thrown up on stage and he like ended the show. Or like one time like somebody like yelled something between songs and he got pissed at it and he left the show. He ended the show. Then there was something my wife saw them. I forget who opened for them, but then they were the headliner. They played like three songs,
Hmm.
and um I forget what exactly the whole story was, but yeah, they just ended the show after like three songs. So like I think that's where some of it comes from.
Hmm.
But I don't get it. And so I'm also in a weird position because of what I used to do. What I
Hmm.
used to do for a living. I worked in the live audio business, and there was a guy that worked for a um audio gear company in British Columbia, which is I guess where Nickelback is some of the members are from, like up near Vancouver. And the guy was our sales rep, and he would come into this area twice a year, and he got to know me and my boss really well. And whenever he would come into the area, he would come through and see us. We would take him out to lunch, and we would sit and talk and this and that for a while. And I don't remember how it happened. Maybe a Nickelback song came on the came on the radio or something, and we were kind of joking about how like Nickelback stank. And he goes, "Look, man," he goes, let me explain something to you. He said that like he's actually like mixed for those guys and done some studio stuff with them. And he goes at the beginning of their career, he goes, they are unbelievably talented.
Hmm.
They are unbelievably talented, but very early in their career, they figured out we can either write and perform the most intricate rock songs that to the best of our ability, and we might be mid-level successful, or we can write songs that are gonna get played.
Basically, sell out.
And they understood what the music business was at that point, and they made music that made them a shitload of money. So they knew the game. And but he said they are awesome guys. He said they are actually super down to earth. They and they are extremely talented. I showed Ryan a video over the weekend of them doing a cover of Sad But True by Metallica, and it
Mm-hmm.
fucking rocks, man. Like, if you haven't seen that,
I've
check
seen it
it
before.
out.
I've seen it before.
Like, it's real fucking good. And man, Chad, he can fucking rip on them vocals. So like, I think people just need to kind of step back a minute and kind of analyze the fact that a lot of the music industry, especially when you talk about the most popular bands, it's driven by the fact that what they can necessarily do is not going to make them money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I used to call Nickelback light Metallica, like Metallica light. Because Chad Kroeger, if you look at his whole demeanor on stage, it's very Hetfield-ish.
Yeah,
Very.
we're actually me, Ryan, and Mark are going to see them.
Oh, really?
Not this weekend, but the 27th.
First time seeing him in concert?
Yeah, I've never seen them before.
I have. I've seen him one time. I saw him in 2007 with my wife. Actually, she's
Yeah,
a big fan.
they're
She's a big
playing
fan.
they're playing in Hershey, and they're so like every year, Live Nation does like these $25 for like a week. It's like concert week. I think it happens in like June.
Okay.
But they put certain tickets on sale for $25, no fees.
They do it here too, also in Florida.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So like we went to we got Nickelback. I know Ryan, Matt, and Mark just went to Pantera 2 weekends ago. 2 weekends ago.
Last week, actually, I think it was that one. Huh?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's close by. Yeah,
not this past weekend, the weekend prior. So
right.
like 10 days
Because
ago.
Lamb of God was there, and Lamb of God was
Yeah, Lamb of God open for him. So
lucky.
but yeah, that was one of the $25 tickets. So yeah, I mean $25 to see Nickelback, and I forget, Brantley Gilbert or somebody opens for him. I've never heard. I've never some country guy, but
and I guarantee
yeah.
you that, and I guarantee you the crowd is gonna be pretty full. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to be as packed as when I saw Blink 182 there earlier this year, but
you sure about that?
yeah, I'm sure. Blink 182 was wall to wall sellout. This one, because they've been here before, so like, and it's close enough to Labor Day weekend. It's a Sunday night. I think there's a few factors keeping it a little less than as full as Blink.
How'd you handle that deal with the wall to wall shit? Giving you anxiety, of course.
Oh, that wasn't great. Well, so I was when we saw the Blink show, I was sick. It was the first time I've really been sick in like 3 years. It was a sinus infection. It wasn't COVID, but like I wasn't feeling great. All because of all my years of playing drums, I have my hearing, my sensitive hearing at times. I forgot to take earplugs.
Oh no!
I had them in my car, and I forgot them. And because Hershey Park was open, we had to park like crazy far away from the stadium. So by the time I realized I didn't have them, I'm like, there's no turning back to go get them. So I thought I'll be okay. And I wasn't okay. So I tried to like makeshift earplugs out of like napkins, and it kind of worked for a minute. And then like when Blink came on, I made it through like a couple songs, and I was checking the score because it was when the Hershey Bears were in the conference finals. And I checked the score of the game, and a guy behind me like literally like grabbed my head because I guess he wanted to know the score. And I'm like, first off, in my head, I'm going like, why the fuck didn't you just look at your own phone, dickhead? But he like grabbed my head, and it like, yeah, it kind of freaked me out. So like Blink, I like Blink a lot, but they are my wife's all-time favorite band.
Oh really? Okay.
So I said to her, I'm like, I have to get myself out of this environment, but like you stay here. I am fine. Like, enjoy the show. Just don't even ignore the fact that I'm removing myself
Did you go back?
from the situation. Now I never went back up into the seat. So what I did was I went down to the end of the stadium, just outside in the parking lot. So I was able to see and here, but I was like far enough away that I was able to decompress, and I was okay. She had a blast. She had an absolute blast.
Oh,
It was fun.
she didn't get mad at you. Good. I thought maybe she got
No,
why don't you come back?
no,
She understands.
I
She
told her
understands.
because like she told me she was like well you can even go back to the car whatever. I said look, don't even worry about me. I said I'm good. And yeah, she had a blast. She wasn't mad at all.
Good stuff. I asked Soul to come back in 2007.
Okay.
They're pretty good live actually. I was surprised how
Yeah,
good
I'm
they were.
excited, man. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Everybody loves the first record, their first album. I love their second album. I think the second album was actually really good. Long Road Home. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I never like listened to full albums by them. Like I'm mostly familiar with a lot of the hits. Now I did buy after we bought the tickets, I bought their greatest hits. And like, man, I knew probably I think it's like 18 songs or something on it, and I probably knew like 15 of them just from being radio familiar, and
Of course, yeah.
and so yeah, it's they're a hit machine, man, and I can't wait.
Yeah, you're right about that. One last thing, get you out of here. Football's on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm hearing people talk about this team actually winning the NFC East, possibly NFC, and I'll be straight up with you. Look at the NFC this year. It's not a foolish thing to think about. Like, to me, the hurdles are very small to get through to get there. It's Philadelphia, possibly San Francisco, and then them. We were talking with Kyle, our mutual friend, Studio Game, of course, part of the podcast, part of this show, of course, too. And look, I think it's a guarantee. Look, them getting to the playoffs is a guarantee, in my opinion. Like it's close. Barring injury, of course.
Right, barring the unmentionables and the unforeseen.
Yeah.
I think playoffs should be a lot. If the playoffs aren't, if you don't make the playoffs, Mike McCarthy.
Oh God, yeah.
Hit the bricks, my dude. Like,
and then
get
you
the
probably,
hell out.
And then if they miss the playoffs, I'm thinking about blowing this team up at that point. Then you're like, okay, that's.
I mean the hard thing is, if you miss the playoffs, okay. I mean McCarthy's gone for sure. I guess potentially you could look at Dan Quinn as a replacement, but he's likely gone. But how do you get rid of Dak Prescott? Because who's going to take on that contract?
He has 1 year left or 2 year left.
I think it's 2 years, but it's heavy money.
Ooh.
And that's the problem. I guess you could potentially restructure or just whatever. I mean, these GMs and NFL executives always find creative ways to do things. But I think playoffs are a lock. To win the division, I think you're gonna have to win both games against Philly. Because I think that like you want to hold that tiebreaker over them, right? Like, obviously you can win it without beating them twice. You definitely have to at worst split the season series with Philly. I mean, Philly's the team to beat in the NFC without question.
Yeah,
but I know, like from when we were talking to Kyle, and we're gonna talk about it with the student of the game on his NFL preview show here in a couple weeks. But looking at the Cowboys now, I don't. And this is and this is preseason, Jim. Remember this. This is preseason.
You love preseason.
Preseason is the best time of year to be a Dallas Cowboys fan because they haven't heard us.
Exactly.
They haven't heard us. But really, I mean, they went 12-5 last year for the second straight year. And that was with basically one wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
Because you had Lamb, you had Michael Gallup on a bad leg, who had to go get surgery again this offseason. You had a bunch of rookies that went brick hands and caused a lot of interceptions. And you had T.Y. Hilton came in in the last 5 games of the regular season and the playoffs. So and like the wildest part about that is he basically became your number 2 when coming out of retirement. T.Y. Hilton is your number 2 receiver. You don't have a number 2 receiver, and then their tight end situation was kind of a weird one in flux. Your offense basically lived around Tony Pollard, so they added weapons this offseason. They got better on the defensive side of the ball. I'm curious to see what the new offense is going to look like, because I do think that Kellen Moore was a big problem. So yeah, and you look at the rest of the NFC. I mean, I would take Dallas against anyone in the North right now. I would take Dallas against anyone in the South right now.
Well, for sure.
And I would take Dallas probably over anyone in the West right now, with maybe the exception being San Francisco.
And I'll be honest with you, it's almost even, because it's not like San Francisco just dominated Dallas. These games come on the wire.
Exactly. And so, I don't trust Seattle. I know Geno Smith had the resurgent year of a lifetime last year, but can he do that again? I don't know. How long will Matt Stafford and the Rams be okay? Now, I know everybody wants to talk about Stetson Bennett and how great he looked in the fourth quarter of the Rams' first preseason game, but let's tap the brakes on Stetson Bennett. I'm Dallas to me is at worst the third best team in the NFC right now. Again, we're timestamping it middle of August. Like, going into this season with what they were last year and what they did in the offseason, at worst they're the third best team in the NFC.
If they go 9-8, it's a disappointment. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. You've had 2 12-win seasons, and you got better this offseason. You have to be at least that good.
And a weaker conference on top of that.
Yeah. Now, I know they play the AFC East, so that is a challenge in and of itself, but that's 4 games, right? That is only 4 games.
They're better than New England. I think they're better than New England.
Yeah, they're better than New England. In Miami, it's going to depend on quarterback health. The Jets, the Jets are the most probably the most fascinating team in the NFL going into this season. Yeah. And then, the Bills, I've said it for multiple seasons, man. This Bills team is going to have so much pressure on it this year. We're going to find out what that team's made of.
Oh, we know. We'll find out immediately, because, again, like I told you,
don't fucking do this. We were having such a nice conversation.
No,
don't do this.
Yeah. Must win.
There's plenty of time for that. But yeah, but again, this is what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. Can the Cowboys take that next step? Right?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I don't care about a win wild card weekend. I don't care about 13 or 14 wins in the regular season. I don't care about that. I'm over that.
So,
get me to the NFC title game. Get me to the Super Bowl.
I was going to ask you that.
Title game. Get me to a title game, please. I'm sitting there and all this offseason, and I've seen these Cowboys fans trying to dog on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles because they lost in the Super Bowl. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? What I wouldn't give to be in that spot, to be beaten by Patrick Mahomes on a last second drive, to be right there. Would it suck? Sure. But Jesus Christ, we haven't been there since I was 10 years old, right?
Let it out. This is therapy. Earnestly podcast. This is therapy, buddy.
Just get me there. I'm not a guy that when this hockey season, when the Hershey Bears went to the Calder Cup finals, I didn't buy a single piece of Eastern Conference champion merchandise. Mm-hmm. And if the Bears would have lost in the finals, I still wouldn't have bought any, because I've seen the Bears. The Bears have won that I can remember, this would be 1, 2, 3, cup number 5 that I can vividly remember. They won in 96.
Mm-hmm.
They won 96, 97, 05, 06, 08, 09, 09, 10, and now this year. So that's 5 that I vividly remember in my lifetime. Cups, the only thing that matters to me as a Hershey Bears fan is cups. When the Capitals made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, I didn't buy a single piece of Eastern Conference champion merchandise because I'm like, it's all or nothing, man. It's all or nothing. I want to see my team win a title.
I confess.
Well,
I confess.
what's that?
2007, I bought the NFC Championship hat because I thought there was no chance we'd beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Well, that's fair.
And then we.
However, I would probably break my own rule if the Cowboys made it to a Super Bowl. I would wait. I would wait to see if they won the Super Bowl or not. But if they lost the Super Bowl, I think I would still buy some Eastern or some NFC champion merchandise because it has been so long since they've even gotten there. Like just prove to me that this team is actually making marked improvement because I've seen them win 13 games in a regular season. They've done it a lot actually. In the Dak and Romo eras, I've seen 13 win seasons and 12 win seasons. Prove to me that this year is going to be something different. At least get me the NFC title game.
I have a sneaky suspicion Dallas will be good this year. Look, I know it's fun to make fun of the Cowboys. It's fun because that's what we do because the Cowboys and America's team. But they are a very good football team. Yeah. See what Illinois is. They are a very good football team. I
will warn everybody that knows me and listens to me and follows me. And 5 years ago, when the Capitals won the Stanley Cup, I was borderline and probably insufferable, like posting about it and bragging about it. If the Cowboys ever win a Super Bowl, people will hate me because it'll be nearly 30 years of pent up frustration, anger. Like hockey is my number one sport. The Capitals, the Bears, hockey is my number one sport. But I live an hour and a half from Philadelphia. I have dealt with being a Cowboys fan in Eagles country for my entire life. Mm-hmm. I've had to deal with, you're just a bandwagon fan, which first off, let me address that, right? If I have lived through the Chad Hutchinson, Drew Henson, Quincy Carter, the long line of quarterbacks, Vinny Testaverde, Drew Bledsoe. If I lived through the years between Aikman and Romo, you can no longer call me a bandwagon fan.
Agreed.
Because I'd have been off the wagon a long time ago, man.
Yep.
If I was just hopping from champion to champion.
You cannot quit the narcotic, man. That's the thing. You can't quit it.
I cannot. I'm sitting here right now with my Cowboys on my phone. It's about football season. So I've had to deal with that. I've had to deal with. I miss the days when like I could make jokes about the Eagles not having any rings, and then they go and win a fucking Super Bowl.
That I missed. See that a Giants fan, I fucking missed that shit.
Yeah, I still see in like old like Facebook memories of like, when like because the Eagle, like all the NFL teams will have like a sponsored like Bud Light can or Coors Light can, and it would leave a ring. I remember like it would leave like a sweat ring on the table. It's like that's the only ring an Eagles fan can have. I miss those jokes. But so I can't make those anymore. Then they almost win again, and the Eagles look primed to have a shot at repeat. So I've dealt with a lot. So maybe self-inflicted, whatever. But 30 years, man, 30 years of pent up frustration will come out if the Cowboys ever win a Super Bowl, and I will be unbearable. I'm warning people now if it ever happens.
So you say that, and we'll close this real quick. God says you have one choice. That is it. For the rest of your life. You get one of these. Cowboys Super Bowl or Notre Dame National Championship.
Oh. So if I pick one, the other one will never happen, right?
Yeah. Never, ever, ever. Notre Dame hasn't won since '88.
Yeah. So I basically, oh man, you know what? Honestly, with that one, as much as I would love to have the Cowboys Super Bowl, I think I'd have to go with Notre Dame because
Really? Okay.
yeah. So growing up, Notre Dame, like I started. I mean, I could sing the Notre Dame fight song at like 3.5. Like Notre Dame
Oh,
was
so
our
you indoctrinated? Okay.
yeah, exactly. But like it's so with the NFL, my dad's a Washington fan, my brother's an Eagles fan, I'm a Cowboys fan, my mom hates her life. No. Um
No Giant fan anymore.
but
Okay.
but we don't have the same hockey team, we don't have the same football team, we don't have the same baseball team. But Notre Dame is the shared thing
Okay.
that we all love. So like for to have to have that opportunity to celebrate that with my dad and my brother, that would be the cherry on the top. Like I remember, and this is truthfully, the this isn't to pick on you being a Florida State fan, but
Mhm.
in 93 when Notre Dame beat Florida State number 2 versus number 1,
Mhm.
that night my dad, my brother and I, there was a movie theater about like 20 minutes away from us. We got in a car right after the game was over. We got 3 tickets. We saw the movie Rudy for the first time. It was in the theater. It was like a Notre Dame fan convention. Like every Notre Dame fan in the Lancaster area had the same idea that night because we're all pumped up after the win. So it's like, what else do you do? We're gonna go watch the Notre Dame movie. And like to this day, I watch Rudy the morning of Notre Dame's first game. So next Saturday they play at 2:30 in the afternoon. I'll start Rudy about 11:30 in the morning, and that'll lead me
Are
right
you
up into
serious? Every
game
year?
every year.
Wow, tradition.
It is tradition. I always it's about 2 hours. So I sit 2 hours before game time. I sit down, I throw Rudy on, and it leads me right into the first game.
And to that, I say thank you, Tom Coughlin, in two ways:
Yeah,
Boston College, Boston College, and
motherfucker,
and then
man.
and then you come to New York and give me two Super Bowls on top of that. Now, love that
So,
guy.
true story. My brother, we went on a field trip in school
Mhm.
to New York, and then we toured NBC studios and stuff like that. We're in the
Oh,
NBC store waiting for our tour to start, and Notre Dame's had the NBC partnership for decades, right?
right.
We're standing in the NBC store and we're watching the video and this and that, and the clip, and I'm like, I don't know. Somebody in that video department must hate Notre Dame because the video clip that they used at NBC Studios at that time was the clip of Notre Dame losing to Boston College the week after they beat Florida. And my brother and I are like, I was ready to flip out. I'm like, what the hell is this? All of the game footage that you have for all of these years, and you're using the one that crushed our soul more than any other. I'm like, there's a sadist in that video department.
Who'd have thought that all this time Notre Dame, as story as they are to this day, still not won a national title? They got close 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, they never stood a chance against Alabama.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I do think that the couple of times they've made it to the college football playoff, I think if they, I can't even say that. I would say like if they would have gotten past Clemson, could they have stood a chance in the title game? I don't know. I'm really hoping that this team, maybe not this year. I don't know that this year they're going to be quite ready, although they have their best quarterback they've had in a decade probably. um but I like Marcus Freeman a lot. I like Marcus Freeman, the head coach, now in his second year. I'm really hoping that they can really take a big step this year. And yeah, like I have no title aspirations this season, but um I hope they have market improvement. I hope they can beat Ohio State at the end of September. Um,
I hope so too. Glad I Ohio State.
because otherwise that would just be uh another loss in the green jerseys because they've already announced they're wearing green for that game. So,
That's
um,
that is in Notre Dame, right?
yeah, it's at South Bend this year because they started the Marcus Freeman era started at Columbus last year, and
Right.
they were within a touchdown starting the fourth quarter, and then Ohio
Mm-hmm.
State kind of pulled away, and then the next week the next week they lost to
Marshall.
Marshall. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like because I remember because he almost beat Ohio State, and I'm like, all right, cool. Marshall's next, and then Cal, the University of California, the Golden Bears. You lose to Marshall, and then they were like struggling against Cal, and I'm like, what just happened?
Typical.
But they finished strong. They finished strong, and yeah, I'm very curious to see how this team's going to be. And now too, similar situation. The Cowboys, new offensive coordinator Tommy Rees sold out and went to Alabama, and is their new offensive coordinator there. So it's going to be a new offensive look for Notre Dame all around. So I'm excited.
You guys are ranked, right, this year?
Yeah, I think they were in the AP. I think they were 13.
Not
Which
bad.
I mean, it's probably here's the thing. That's probably about right. Based on where they finished last year. You have a quarterback that's a transfer. You have a new offensive coach. You have a second year head coach. So yeah, I mean, that's probably about where they should be. But again, as you'll hear on the Huddle Up podcast, not next Tuesday, but the following, bing.
Yeah.
Um, preseason polls are dumb. They are. I've never liked them. I think they set some teams up incorrectly in both the good and the bad. So, but yeah, I mean, realistically, I think Notre Dame's probably a mid-level top 25 team this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, should be interesting season, man. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, Huddle Up podcast. So plug what you got. I mean, I'm sure you're
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
work in a
I
second.
mean, yeah, they play three teams that are ranked in the preseason top 10. They play USC, they play Clemson, and they play Ohio State. So you're if Notre Dame wins, goes undefeated, they'll probably be in a playoff spot. But we'll see if they can get through that gauntlet there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports. You will see me talk about some sports, some wrestling, and usually just shitting on Donald Trump on that page and Clay. Although, you know what? I did the smart thing, and credit to student of the game, Kyle Nash. I actually blocked Clay Travis, so I don't actually see.
Why? Why?
I actually don't see anything Clay posts. I just see
What's
the
the fun
exposing.
of what's the fun in that though?
You gotta pick. You just gotta be smart sometimes. So but I still see from the exposing Clay Travis page, which is one of my favorite Twitter accounts. So you'll see me retweet from there a lot. But yeah, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports. We got the Huddle Up podcast. You can follow that at Huddle Up Podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We have our final off-season episode dropping next Wednesday. I'm gonna try. This weekend's fucking nut. I am so busy, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna try to get an observations pod recorded, but no guarantee on that one for this week. Probably gonna be early next week. But yeah, we have that one the following week, last week of the month. The live season for the year starts, so that'll be every Tuesday night. And then at three count Thursday, 3CT. We're back to our live show. We were off one week last week. We're back to our live show this week. Tuesday podcast will drop next week, and then discussions with a nobody. I'm working on a discussion where I have a few ideas down, but I'm also the one we recorded with our top 10 favorite Queen songs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on my top 10 favorite Kiss songs because they're my favorite band.
Yeah.
So I'm just working down and cutting down some of the audio, but I have the list. So I'm going to try to get that recorded maybe Friday. It won't be Saturday. So if it's not Friday, it'll be Sunday. So that should be coming out within the next week. Bottom line, I got very long-winded. It's a very Kyle Nash thing of me to do. But basically, go to at Big Jim Sports. Go to Big Jim Sports. Hit the link tree. Everything I do is there. But yeah, thanks, EJ. Appreciate it.
Good job as always, my friend.
Yeah, man.